Welcome once again to the Del Rivers Show. I'm your host, Mark Elliott. As always, on the couch next to me, the man in black.
Yeah. Can't believe you made me dress in black.
Have you ever
how to stay a summer? I'm dressed in black.
He shows up at the door. I'm thinking, have you ever considered being a Mormon?
Or Jehovah's Witness, you know.
Right. And he had his bag. Black bag too.
I would sell insurance if I had that bag.
So, we got a lot of stuff to talk about on the show. First of all, as always, I want to give a shout out to Gretchen, our #1 fan.
Yay, Gretchen.
She asked me if we had any t-shirts for the Del Rivers Show, and we do not, but she will be the first one to get one when our investors come through.
And all the sizes will be extra large, so I can have something to wear on the show.
So they won't pull up in the bag
so
like
pull up
one
in
of
the
your
bag.
beefs?
Right, yeah.
Shirts that pull up in the
extra
bag.
long.
And we also want to shout out to our fan Hidehiko in Osaka, Lisa in Barcelona, Spain, and Bjorn in Malmö, Sweden. And as usual, we want to invite Ted Nugent, the Motor City Madman, onto our show. Who he said he was going to commit suicide if Obama wins the election. So I figure
do it right here.
Yeah, if Obama wins the election, we want to give him a venue to commit suicide on.
Using barbiturates or some sort of...
Yeah, the contingency is no firearms. He can't blow his brains out. It has to be a barbiturate cocktail.
Right.
And Del's request, one last request.
Oh, yeah. Shout out to...
No, you... Oh, Wango Tango.
Oh, he has to play Wango Tango.
Del wants him to play Wango Tango,
yeah. Well, I wanted to say
the Motor City Madman, or as my friend Jason says, the Motor City Schmuck. What was your...
Depends on which political.
Del's got a shout out
to Mark Cooper, formerly of Spilt Milk.
Oh, that's right.
He's recovering. He's
recovering at a stroke and recovering from that.
Yeah.
Del and I were talking about medical issues. I wanted to do a show devoted to medical issues. And I was like, there's not a lot of laughs involved, you know. So.
Oh my God! Everyone around me is like dying from something.
Yeah, you know, you start to.
Heart attack, stroke, cancers, and everything.
Once you get past 40, people start dropping.
Oh, it's amazing.
Told. Speaking of dropping, we lost one of the all-time comedy greats this week. Miss Phyllis Diller died at the age of 95.
Yeah, full life.
Really, Phyllis Diller was always one of my favorites. I'm telling you, a little story. It made me think back. I remember I'm about 8 or 9 years old watching the Flip Wilson show.
Wow.
And she came out, and I was dying. And it was back when, you know, there's 3 channels on TV. When Phyllis Diller would come out, you'd be like, "Hey, Mom, Phyllis Diller's on!" You know, my mother would come out in the kitchen with her wash rag. And we'd stand around, and for 5 minutes, she would just kill everybody.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and now it's different. You want to see something, just plug it into the internet and you see it. Instant gratification.
Right.
But back then, it was really special. You know, you get 5 minutes of Phyllis Diller. And she was always a classic. The stuff, I mean, you can watch that stuff today. It's still hilarious.
Yeah, it holds up.
Yeah,
it holds up
really
very
does.
well.
So she was great. She was really something. And also, I've been getting criticism about the show from various people, giving me advice about, you know, what I should be doing here with the show. Frankly, I'm surprised we're already now in episode 14.
Yeah.
Season finale. Finale.
Yep. Before the fall season lineup.
So my friend Robin was criticizing me, saying that I'm not getting the most out of Del Rivers. She said I'm not getting the most for my Del Rivers money. And
what, you want a pound of flesh out of me?
I'm assuring her that the well is running dry. There's a drought of Del Rivers.
It's a very shallow thing.
It's a shallow well.
Pool. It's a shallow pool and the dog's licking it up.
She actually said to me, "Well, why don't you ask him about what the deal is with sea salt?" And I said, "We already covered it on the last episode. It was his beef." She couldn't believe it. She was very shocked.
Wow.
But she is the one who remembered his Loser of the Year award bit, which was one of your classic bits.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, one of your classic
It was kind of like the Bob and Ray moment that I had on stage.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah.
It was great.
I wish I had a tape of that. It was really good.
And, so what was I going to say? want to encourage anyone who's got a question for Del, send it in. Email address at the end of the show. Check the titles. Yeah, any legitimate or illegitimate question you feel like asking Del.
Made up stuff.
Yeah, whatever. Del will go for it. And I was talking to Del a couple weeks ago about, what did he want to do with the show? What direction did he want to take the show? And he goes, let's just keep doing what we're doing. He said, just keep it organic.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, you've been hanging out with Meisner and Strasburg or something,
Yeah, even the pills are edible.
Where did you pick that up? Watching James Lipton or something?
Too many green things around. I guess I just kind of picked it up.
Yeah.
I kind of like organic stuff.
Oh, okay. Because it's a term that they do use in acting school, keeping it organic.
Right. My mom bought this jar of organic pickles. Oh, man, it's to die for. Bread and butter chips.
Pickles?
Ooh, they're so good.
Are they soaked in organic brine?
Yes. I don't know if they had sea salt in it, but man, they tasted pretty good.
Organic pickles, I don't know. It's a bit of a ruse. But anyway, as a reference to last week, Del asked me one of his classic questions, was Milton Bradley gay? So I looked it up.
You think that gay basher is like a
I did looked up the wiki on Milton Bradley, and he had an interesting life, but there was no indication that Milton Bradley had any kind of homosexual scandals.
But what did that guy do all day? Just play games all day? Did he have a real job? Games people play now. Every night and every day now. Milton Bradley's got one for you.
The man invented the board game.
Yeah. He did invent the board game.
He did. Well, I think there were other board games at the time, but he invented the original, what they call the Game of Life.
Yeah.
Which was completely different than what it's known now, the Spinner. It was just a sort of a checkered type of board game. It was extremely popular. Yeah.
Oh yeah, little pegs in the cars and stuff like that.
And then we were talking, and I'm seldom on Facebook, but I was poking around in these lists of people who are friends with Del who you might know. And I'm seeing this list of like these hot black chicks. So I'm like, I asked Del, what's with the FB brown sugar? And he's like, they're just women and they wanted to be my friend.
They have one or two common friends.
Yeah, he seemed to admit that they were all like scammers or trying to scam or something. I don't know.
Scammers.
Yeah. So.
Well, I'm wearing black, man. More power to the brother.
Okay.
All right. Yeah, it's just like my friend, he called this other friend of mine Jamal, and it was actually some other name, Just
really?
like totally made it up. It's like, can you be more white? It's like, come on.
So, maybe we should move on to the part of the show I call Del's Beef, which this week he claims it's a beef and a half.
Oh yeah, and I don't tell this guy all the beefs just once in a while.
That's right. These are now secret beefs. These are no longer redacted
so
beefs.
I can just see the expression on your face.
I have no idea what his beefs are going to be anymore. He used to run them past me before the show.
This one I thought of when I was reading the comic section in the newspaper. My beef is Dagwood Bumstead. Why doesn't Mr. Dithers grow a pair and tell Dagwood to clear out his desk after all these years? He just sits there at his desk with his feet up. Come on, Dithers, fire the guy. Give him a freaking pink slip or something. It's just like hundreds of years with freaking Dagwood Bumstead. You think it would have gave him the
What is with this Depression era beef of yours? This is the most contemporary beef you can come up. Is that comic still even out? I thought the guy died 30 years ago.
Like you look at the comic section, it's
really?
It's Blondie that's on there. It's like
I
think his son or his grandson's like making the cartoon now.
Oh, Lord.
But they won't fire Bumstead. I mean, you think it'd be a good storyline if they fired Bumstead. You show him with a lot of beard stubble and his hair all messed up. It'd be more realistic. It'd be really cool.
This is really your beef?
Yeah, it's a beef. I mean, can't they just even try it for a one-story arc or something?
Maybe they could work in Uncle Tanoose somehow. Spice it up a little bit.
Well, the other beef I had is we're doing a beef and a half here. Mine is
Was the beginning the half, or was that the full beef?
That was the full beef. Is the Dagwood Bumstead. It kind of rates with my Mike Love figure.
What's the half of beef now?
The other one was the comedy thing. I was a little bit depressed the other day. I said, I have this imaginary bar that I have to shoot for to be, like equal to everybody else in the comedy world. It's like the bar's way up here, and I'm like, I can't reach it.
It's like, that's your beef?
Yeah. It's like,
I always thought
imaginary bar that it's set for everybody.
I always felt that you lowered the bar, and instead of going over it, you attempted to limbo under it.
That's the bar. Yeah,
that's the bar.
That's the bar we should go for. The one we can limbo underneath it.
That's what I always thought your angle.
It's like either we're not funny enough, or we're using the wrong equipment, or the studio's the wrong kind. It's like you gotta have this bar up there. If you don't make it, you suck, and everyone throws you in the toilets. It's just.
We were talking earlier, Del had never heard the term flop sweat before, although it seems like he's experienced it enough.
Oh, I know. It's terrible.
He was telling me about an old stand-up routine he did where he had papers, they were falling all over the place, he couldn't get them out of the binder.
Oh, yeah.
When the audience was stone silent.
Yep.
Were you getting heckled?
They're waiting and waiting, and then, it's just like, I gave up. I just, did one joke and walked off stage.
That's pretty bad.
Yeah.
All right.
It's like 90% of the show.
Should we now do Mystery Del, or should we take a little commercial break and then do Mystery Del?
We'll do it after the commercial break.
Okay.
We'll do that.
When we come back, we will do a portion of the show we now call Mystery Del, which is, what is that, Mystery Del?
Something you don't know about me.
That's
that
right.
I'll reveal.
Something that Del will reveal that I don't know about him.
Yeah. Even I don't know which one I'm going to pick this week. I'm
That's
just
right.
kind of thinking about it, going through the list.
Yeah, he's pinching these things out like they're gold nuggets. Yeah. So when we come back, Mystery Del.
Mystery Del.
Coming soon to a theater near you. A cinematic experience more horrifying than The View. Del Rivers stars in Whatever Happened to Baby Del.
I've written a letter to Daddy. His address is heaven above. I've written, dear Daddy, we miss you. I wish you were with us to love.
Whatever Happened to Baby Del, opening soon at all Joe Morris and Jerry Lewis cinemas.
Hi, this is Del Rivers. Back in the 1980s, I used to frequent a bar in Rochester, New York called Scorgies. I used to videotape and introduce bands, play percussion, and sing backup with many groups, including groups like the Projectiles. There was bands like the Chestville Kings and others that used to play there. Now you can hear some of the songs that I've written during that time period on Del Rivers, a Scorgies legend. It's now available at Bop Shop and through Rocket Racket Records. Thank you.
Okay, people, we are back once again, and we're now going into Mystery Del.
That's where I bring up the...
I keep forgetting you do that theremin music. Find that a bit unsettling.
This is, we're talking about medical stuff.
All right.
Believe it or not, if you don't know this, you'll know it now. I actually cut my big toe with a lawnmower.
Really? You didn't have a fly mow, did you?
What's a fly mow?
It was this lawnmower, I think it was banned. It would just hover. It had no wheels.
Oh, no. Yeah, I remember that. Those things are dangerous.
Yeah.
Imagine a lot of feet getting cut off with that. Luckily, the blade just kind of entered my shoe and stopped dead. But right on my toe.
Wow.
So I had to get like a piece of meat. A piece of skin from my thigh and put it on my toe.
Really? They didn't put a steel plate in your toe?
No, thank God. It's just...
Did you replace your toe with a hook?
toe. You know how you mow into a ditch?
That is a Mystery Del. I did not know that.
I slid right down and mowed my toe.
Wow.
Just
Jeez.
When a whole 3 or 4 months with I couldn't walk around or anything. It was terrible.
It's not a funny mystery, Del.
Yeah.
Did you have your foot all wrapped up? Did you have a cane and a crutch?
I had crutches.
Yeah. Did you ever fall down and hurt yourself?
No, I haven't done that.
No?
Yeah. Been lucky.
Just like I was saying, when I had the neck brace, my sister thought it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And in old comedy, there's something about the guy who's injured and falls down the stairs. Let's all laugh at the guy who almost crippled himself.
Right.
Yeah, and it was like that with that
It was
stupid
just the
show,
Bananas.
America's Funniest Videos, where all of them involve some sort of stupid violence that happens to
I
people.
hate this show.
Yeah, and
it's always like someone getting nailed in the nuts.
There is some.
That's what happens.
There is something about people. They like to laugh at other people getting hurt.
Yeah.
Or injured.
It's like living off the misery of others.
Yeah, it is.
Like we mentioned.
So, what was I going to mention? That some interesting things in the news that the World Organization for Peace was having this very interesting book drive in the Middle East for children. Children's book drive. They're trying to promote religious tolerance. Right. Interesting titles. First title was Arafat in a Hat. The second one was Green Eggs in the Quran. And the third one, and the most controversial, One Fish, Two Fish, Monkfish, Jewfish. Which tries to
trying to get both sides or something.
Tries to answer the age-old question: did the monkfish and the Jewfish engage in religious quarrels?
Yeah.
And the last, last minute entry was Horton hears the Hamas.
Oh boy. I hope we don't get like the scimitar over that, or over a couple of those.
So Del was last week. He wanted to wrap it up. He was tired of Olympic jokes, but I got a little more. This is funny. Earlier, if he had Olympic fever, or maybe just the Olympic sweats, the Olympic chilblains, the Olympic palpitations, the Olympic rash, the Olympic foot fungus. How about the Olympic ague or the Olympic clap?
I was so excited by the Olympics, I caught the clap from the Olympics. You get the 5-ringer.
Oh, boy.
5-ringer
But they
clap.
say if you have the Olympic fever, you shouldn't sit too close to the Olympic flame.
Right. That's... Hey-o.
Okay. Hey, thank you, Doc. Thank you.
Nice.
Okay, and you have your news list?
Yeah, these are the ones I usually pull out of the news.
Once again, big surprise. I am not allowed
some funny,
redaction.
some not, because we don't have an audience right here. But.
I was asking Del earlier, what do you think about some of my jokes? He goes, they're great. He goes, but just remember, he goes, I ride on the coattails of your failure, he said.
It's like living off the misery, of course, like we talk about. Let's see, this is one. There are 10 hidden controls on the iPhone headphones, but none of them will make both wires equal in length. You know how like they're all
right.
different lengths,
They're always going.
Yeah.
There's another thing. He was sitting there. He comes in. He sits down. He goes, geez, I know what's wrong. My right arm is way longer than my left arm.
I mean, look at the sleeve doesn't go down all the way.
But I'm like, if you just reach, on your arms, he's like, no, if I reach out, this is looking.
Yeah, if they're equal, I'm still like an inch longer on the right side.
I don't even want to get into what aside from pitching in Major League Baseball would make your right arm
longer,
so much longer.
It happens every time I roll up my sleeves. It never equals.
A little too much right arm activity.
Nah, I'm gonna give. Let me finish these off because it's gonna take.
All right, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Lisa Whelchel, who played Blair on Facts of Life, will head the cast of Survivor Philippines, while Tootie from Facts of Life will come back again on Survivor Hollywood. Tootie. I forgot her name. I should know.
How about Survivor Mayberry?
Or yeah, that sounds like a good one. Go back in time, film it in black and white. Just like, well, anyway.
Survivor Batavia.
Batavia. Landlocked.
Can you survive a summer in the most boring place on earth?
I was thinking Batavia.
How about like Survivor New Hampshire?
New Hampshire.
They all say borscht instead of.
You were saying Batavia. It reminds me of like Latvia, Batavia. Is it like an Eastern European bloc country or something? Let's see. This year, historic droughts. We're hearing about the droughts revealing ghost towns.
That's right. I read about that.
Yeah, but there's no ghosts because of past historic floods.
The ghosts were flooded out
right
before the drought. Yeah, okay.
The Star Wars hover bike is now a reality. Someone created a Star Wars
saw
hover
that,
bike.
yeah.
It's actually
I saw
true.
that.
Just like the Darth Vader CPAP breathing mask.
CPAP.
You are now my son while I learn how to breathe it.
Okay, that's enough.
Apple is now listed as the most valuable computer firm of all time.
Yeah, that's right.
While Commodore Computer is just trying to get noticed at garage sales and flea markets for free.
How about Wang?
What?
Remember Wang?
You said to hit the side of it to get the drive.
That was, for any of you too young to remember this,
was like
20 years ago in the 80s, there was a computer company named Wang.
Wang Computer.
Yeah.
That's true.
But they went completely bankrupt after they changed their name to Dork. Yeah.
50-year-old Roger Clemens was set to pitch again for a minor league team. I guess he's playing already by now. But lately his arms fell off after the first pitch. Maybe the steroids weren't such a good idea. Art treasures have been the rave of New York City.
Sorry, I just got actually this visual of the guy's
Roger
arms
Clemens.
actually falling off his body.
Whoosh! See the arm flying off like a
Okay.
baseball or something.
Next one.
Art treasures are the
Art
rave
treasures.
of New York City subways, especially the ones featuring sleeping bums.
Art treasures
Art
and
treasures.
sleeping bums.
No, there's like art on the subway walls,
Oh, okay.
like
okay.
the Simon and Garfunkel song.
Oh, that's right. Okay. Yeah, explain that one to me.
Chuck Norris is getting
Chunk Norris.
he's getting rave reviews for the Expendables 2. It has all these stars in it that are action stars.
Yeah, I heard Roger Ebert wrote it.
Especially the part where he annihilates a bunch of evil senior citizens. I'm getting near the end. There's only a couple more.
So Chuck Norris is only allowed to beat up senior citizens now? 'Cause he's an
yeah,
old guy?
he's older now. He's past
So he
65.
can only beat up other people with dyed hair.
Right.
With chestnut brown dyed hair.
This is great. This is like a funny one I like
Right.
myself. The Trident, a supercar that could drive 200 miles per hour, claims a gas mileage of 69 miles per gallon.
Yeah, I read about that.
But only if you drive 200 miles per hour.
Yeah. So the MPH goes down as the slower you go.
Right, the slower you go.
Yeah, that's really good
Is it,
technology.
if it's possible.
Yeah.
This is the last one
Okay.
for you guys out there. Cyclist Lance Armstrong is facing the loss of 7 Tour de France titles. He said the books about bicycling were hard enough to read anyways. He couldn't even figure out the French titles. Ex-girlfriend Sheryl Crow even gave Lance back her golden training wheels. Poor Lance.
I thought you were going to say something like,
Lance Armstrong.
She tried to blame him for her cancer. Like she.
Oh, I know. Another
That's like-
medical. It's like a medical show we're doing. Everything's like disease
I
oriented.
don't do good medical disease jokes. Yeah. It's hard to get a big belly laugh out of cancer.
I know. I thought you were going to say beef for a second there.
So Del had some old joke that I thought was actually pretty funny.
This is from
A little old visual. It said this is an ancient thing he did 25 years ago, a stand-up thing.
I wrote 1996, so it's really not.
Oh, okay.
It's still like
15 years,
ago.
yeah. 17.
There was a new album by The Who called The Who Cares.
So who cares?
If you see that. At the time, we put No Phil at the corner, which meant No Phil Collins.
Phil Collins.
Let's see, what does it say here? Let's see, the Who Cares LP, formerly titled The Who Gives a Shit LP. Let's see, I Can See for Miles with the bifocal backup singers.
I like that.
My Degeneration, I Hope I Die Before I Get Moldy. The Adults Are Alright. Pinball Whippersnapper. And how about this one? Behind Glaucoma Eyes. And I like this last one too. This is really good. Going mobile and senile, but we're still younger than the Rolling Stones.
Going mobile.
Yeah,
that's
it's nice.
funny.
Nice. The Who Cares album.
Yeah, that was pretty amusing. I didn't enjoy that.
I'll put that in the next photo on Facebook.
Right, that's good. Yeah.
You had something about Facebook?
You should invite some of those hot black chicks on our show.
Oh, yeah.
Ask them if they want to come on the show. Yeah.
Sure. They're invited anytime.
You have to stress there is no remuneration involved for appearing on
Oh
the
yeah,
show.
nobody gets paid.
Yeah, that's right.
I got one more at the end, but do something and then I'll come back to it.
You want me to do it? I got a couple of
Yeah,
jokes.
go ahead.
Let's see.
I know our fans like our jokes, even though they're like observational humor kind of thing. You know, we laugh at each other's jokes. I think
Fans seem to be holding out.
Yeah, they're
Our
holding out.
skeleton crew of fans, and of course our cult following in Tokyo.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Should we mention anything about the movie?
Though I think the movie mentions itself.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
good.
Distance swimmer Diana Nyad swam from Florida to Cuba, and when she returned, she was towing 2 boats with 79 refugees.
Nice.
And one of them was Fidel Castro in a wheelchair, who complained that he hadn't had a bowel movement in days, and that his brother was stealing his money.
Nice.
I got one more. This is another thing out of the news. Just happened last night. True story. Bit of a scandal in the Romney household.
Oh yeah.
This is Mitt. Very upset with Mitt. Apparently, late one evening, Mitt was able to sneak past the Secret Service guys. Did not know that a paparazzi had a telephoto lens on him. Caught him in the act. He snuck around the corner in the bushes, on film.
Okay, yeah.
In the bushes, Mitt Romney getting a blowjob from his money. It was pretty shocking.
Oh yeah. Should I mention the other thing that happened with Mitt Romney's wife? She had to turn down her contract from CoverGirl.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, because of Mormon, you can't wear makeup.
Oh, that's right. He told me the Mormons can't wear makeup, but apparently they do have some kind of a magic underwear.
Yeah,
We gotta look into it. It's absolute. This is not even a joke. Apparently, there is some kind of a spiritual underwear thing that they got going on that nobody talks
back
about.
in the old days, you probably called it something else.
Don't take my word for it. Google it. You got the Google. Use it.
Right. Especially like Wikipedia, always right, never wrong.
Wikipedia, always right, never wrong.
So I go with that last thing now?
Yeah, you got that last. Dell has another inflated numbers joke, which I'm really beginning to enjoy his inflated numbers.
It's just kind of like a funny thing that I've been doing, like we did the movie star ones and stuff like that. These are the list of celebrity accidents. Right here. Lindsay Lohan, she has 863 accidents. Tiger Woods, only 2 accidents. George Michael, 504 accidents. Charlie Sheen, surprisingly low number, 98 accidents. And of course myself, I have 5 accidents.
Del Rivers has
which
5
makes it more than Tiger Woods. So I'm in, baby. I'm a celebrity.
He's in the celebrity club of over-digitized accidents.
Yep.
Okay, and the last thing I was going to mention is I was talking to Del how, when you win the gold medal or even the silver medal, you get to go on TV, you get a big endorsement deal. How the bronze medalists get shafted, the third greatest on the planet, and it's like nobody gives them the time of day. And I was wondering why that is. What they get the endorsements. Maybe a big company would be afraid to endorse them, thinking, "Oh yeah, this bronze medalist buys our shoes. We have the third best shoes."
Yeah, that's what the third best.
The implication is third best. But I'd like to invite any bronze medalist to come on our show.
Oh yeah, on our show.
Yeah, open invitation.
We're still trying to make it to the bar. Hey, my arm's getting longer. Look. Oh boy.
Is that it? I think we've reached the end of our ropes. Yeah, I think this is it. Before our Nielsen's plummet even more, we will see you next week and next season.
Yes.
On Del Rivers Show.
Nice show.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So we can talk a little bit.
And, watch the credits roll.
Yeah.